I'd like to call the meeting to order at 9 a.m. this morning and establish quorum by calling roll call vote. Ed Knight. Jeff Morris is not here today. Larry Sims is not here yet. Dwayne Rogers.
Here.
And Jay White. All right, we have quorum. Notice of the August 19th, 2024 meeting of the Auctioneer Commission, including the date, time, and location, has been noticed on the website since August 25th, 2023. Additionally, the agenda has been posted to the website since August 7th, 2024. First thing on the on your agenda will be adopting and approving the agenda for this meeting. I would need a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as written for this meeting. And then next on your agenda is the May minutes. Pardon? Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Anna. All in favor of the motion to accept the agenda as written, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Anna.
John, I don't believe that their microphones are working. I'm not picking anything up from any of the board members.
Yeah, if you'll just make sure to push the
1, 2, 1, 2.
There you go.
Check,
it'll
check.
It'll turn red on there. Thank you. Thanks, Dana. Okay, next on the agenda are the May minutes. We would need a motion and a second to adopt the May minutes as written, or let us know if we need any corrections or additions.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. A motion by Mr. White. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Knight. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries to adopt the May minutes as written. Okay. Next on your iPads, you'll see the education review. You'll have to scroll over. I'm sorry, it's on page 6. It starts there. And we've got one 6-hour continuing education course offered by the Nashville Auction School. The 6-hour course is titled The Auctioneer's Winning Business Playbook. The instructor is Daniel Pruitt. And this was sent to you in your packet that I emailed a week or so ago. So we would need a motion and a second to approve this course.
Make a motion to accept or approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second by Jay White. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on your iPad, starting on page 14, we have a reinstatement request. Mr. David Pruitt is requesting the commission waive the late fees associated with his reinstatement application. Mr. Pruitt submitted an application of his unique situation that caused him to have his licensed principal auctioneer's license expire. He's aware of the license fee and exams, and he'll need to pass, and added penalties present a hardship and keep him from re-entering the industry. He's asking that the commission consider waiving his late fee due to a financial hardship. And he's had a whole series of medical events, as you can see here.
Is this something we've done in the past for folks? Is it something that and okay, it's
I
not
think for good cause. They've done it in the past.
I'll make a motion that we waive those late, but
Okay.
with if you all feel confident that this is
Okay.
He does have these disabilities.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. White, second by Mr. Knight. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Next on your iPads, you'll see the budget information. This is the most current information through June 2024. They're still working on closing out our end of the fiscal year, July 2024 information. We'll have that at the next meeting to give you a final set of numbers. As you'll notice on this report, we did have a year-to-date deficit at this point of $3,868. But we do have in the reserve balance fund, we have $515,640. And the current educational fund balance is $176,346. And as you know, we have to maintain a minimum balance of $150,000 in that account. So this is mainly just informational. Does anybody have any questions or anything? All right, next up on the agenda, we have the legal report, and I'll turn this over to Ms. Kim Cooper.
Good morning, Commissioners. You'll have the legal report in front of you. We've got 5 items on that report today. The first item was a complaint that was submitted alleging that the respondent was allowing unlicensed activity at their auctions and or running up bids. There was insufficient evidence of that. And the respondent did provide a response and denied that. However, there was an advertisement that was submitted as part of the complaint that all it had was the date, time, and location. There was it didn't have any of the required information regarding the auctioneer who would be conducting the auction. So that's why I recommended the $250 civil penalty. Did you want to take these all as and at the end of it, though, to accept the report? I can just go ahead and go through the rest of them if that's all right. Okay. The second item on the agenda, or on the report, I'm sorry, was an anonymous complaint alleging that the respondent was conducting auctions without an active license. There was no additional information provided, and so there's nothing that I could follow up on, and so I recommended dismissal. The third complaint alleged that the unlicensed respondent was conducting auctions every Saturday and streaming the auctions live on social media. There was abundant proof of that online on their social media accounts, but because it is primarily all online, I recommended litigation monitoring. The fourth item was also about an online auction. Again, there would be some there was sufficient information for me to follow up, but because it is an online auction, I have recommended litigation monitoring in that one as well. And the fifth item was a complaint regarding a auction of property that the complainant was the property owner and alleged that the respondent auctioneer did not live up to their contractual agreement to advertise the auction and or get bidders there. The respondent, of course, denied that and was able to provide to me a log of activities and copies of advertisements that they did make, and they did do, from what I can tell, all that they were required to do and more possibly regarding that, trying to get that property sold. So I recommended dismissal. So there's the legal report for this meeting.
So we would need a motion to accept.
I'll make that motion.
I'm sorry.
I'll make that motion.
Yes. Motion made by Mr. Rogers.
Can we ask questions about this at this point? Okay. They normally do it by case basis.
Whatever you prefer.
The first one,
Yes, sir.
$250 civil penalty. Is that pretty common civil penalty? I mean,
That does seem to be based on previous legal reports that I've seen. I tried to stay consistent. I also did notice, however, that this auctioneer has been licensed for a very long time and does not have a prior history. So whatever you think would be appropriate,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. It seems kind of stiff for an advertising violation, but is that fairly normal?
That's
Okay.
in line with what we've done before. Yes, sir.
Okay.
But it, case by case, like I said, there is a long history there of,
Well, that's what I was gonna ask, if you had any kind of prior history.
no, sir.
And then the litigation monitoring,
Yes.
monitoring, I can't even say that word, monitoring.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
We're waiting on the outcome of the litigation that's currently going on with the AG's office. And so it's inappropriate at this point for us to move forward. The cases that go under litigation monitoring, we do monitor them. I do continue to get information from the complainants if they want to provide ongoing information. If and when we're able to move forward with discipline, if appropriate, we'll be ready to do that.
So just pretty much in a holding pattern.
We stick a pin in it for now. Yes, sir.
And that's all I have.
Yes, sir.
I'll second it.
Have a motion by Mr. Rogers and a second by Mr. White, all to accept the recommendations of legal counsel as written. All in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Good morning. So we have two items before you, but first we're going to proceed with a rulemaking hearing. Okay. This rulemaking hearing is called to order. My name is Anna Matlock. I serve as an Associate General Counsel in the Department of Commerce and Insurance, Division of Regulatory Boards. I represent the Tennessee Auctioneer Commission. Would the agency representatives who are present introduce themselves for the record?
My name is John Lillard. I'm the Assistant Director.
Edward Knight.
Jay White.
Dwayne Rogers.
Today is Monday, August 19th, 2024. This rulemaking hearing is taking place pursuant to Tennessee Code Annotated Section 4-5-204 and Conference Room 1B on the first floor of Davy Crockett Tower, 500 James Robertson Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee, and also available by electronic means via Microsoft Teams, which can be located on the program's website, www.tn.gov/regboards/auctioneers/meetings.html. On this page, the link for access to the rulemaking hearing via Microsoft Teams can be found in the chart located in the middle of the page in the first row with the date 8-19-2024 in the location column under the words Davy Crockett Tower, 500 James Robertson Parkway, Conference Room 1B, Nashville, Tennessee, labeled Connect. The purpose of this rulemaking hearing is to solicit comments on rule amendments to the rules and regulations of the Tennessee Auctioneer Commission. The proposed rules amend certain requirements for public automobile auctioneers and public automobile auctions, specifically as required by a statutory change, lowering the age requirement for the public automobile auctioneer license application from 21 to 18 years of age. Additionally, the rules clarify the public automobile auction is to hold the Motor Vehicle Commission's motor vehicle dealer license. This amendment will provide clarification to public automobile auctioneers and public automobile auctions following statutory amendments. A rule is defined as an agency statement of general applicability that implements or prescribes law or policy or describes the procedures or practice requirements of the agency. Proposed rules are filed with the Office of the Secretary of State. Notice is given to the public for comment and a rulemaking hearing is held. Upon conclusion of the hearing and adoption of the proposed rules, the rules are forwarded to the Attorney General's office for review of legality. If approved, they are filed with the Secretary of State, which is responsible for publication, and the Government Operations Committee of the General Assembly. The rules must stay at the Secretary of State's office for 90 days, then end of which time will be the effective date. Please listen carefully. Those members of the public wishing to speak and appearing in person should place their name on the sign-in sheet on the table behind me. Those members of the public wishing to speak and appearing via Microsoft Teams should place their name in the chat box. Oral comments will not be accepted by those who have written in their name on the sign-in sheet and typed their name in the chat box will only be permitted to speak. Is there anyone else that desires to offer oral comments but has not provided their name on the sign-in sheet or type their name in the chat box? Seeing that there are none, for those attending the hearing in person, I will call your attention to the table by the door. On this table, you will find red-lined copies of the rule amendments addressed in today's rulemaking hearing. For those attending Microsoft Teams, you will find a link in the chat box to the red-line copy of the rule amendments for today's rulemaking hearing. The notice of rulemaking hearing included the entire text of the proposed rules and were published on the Tennessee Administrative Register website on June 5th, 2024. Mr. Lillard, what additional notice was given to the affected individuals or groups?
Information for the time and location of the hearing was placed on the program's website, and an e-notify was sent to all licensees signed up for the program system on June 10th, 2024.
As the agency hears public comments on the rules, I, as moderator, reserve the right to limit such comments if they become repetitive. Please limit your comments accordingly. I will summarize the substance of the rules into the record. Rule 0160-01-.25, Public Automobile Auction and Public Automobile Auctioneer License. Paragraph 1 is amended by deleting 21 years of age in subparagraph A and replacing it with 18 years of age. Rule 0160-01-.25, Public Automobile Auction and Public Automobile Auctioneer License, paragraph 2, is amended by adding the language issued in the name of the public automobile auction in subparagraph I. Rule 0160-01-.25, Public Automobile Auction and Public Automobile Auctioneer License, paragraph 2 is amended by adding the language issued in the name of the public automobile auction to subparagraph J. Mr. Lillard, were any written comments received by the Commission office for the rule amendments that were not forwarded to me prior to today's hearing?
No, there were not.
As I have not received any written comments via email prior to this hearing, I will now solicit comments from individuals present at today's meeting, either in person or Microsoft Teams. Seeing that there are none, I will now move towards language that must be adopted related to the notice of rulemaking hearing filing form. This now concludes the comment period for the rulemaking package. Lastly, there are several measures that will need to be read into the record as required by TCA Section 4-5-222. First, I will need a motion to adopt the hearing rule language as presented.
Make a motion to adopt.
I'll second.
We have a motion to adopt and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? A roll call, I'm sorry. My apologies. That needs to be a roll call vote. Ed Knight. Aye. Jeff Morris is not here. Larry Sims is not here. Dwayne Rogers. Jay White.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, I will read the regulatory flexibility addendum. The type or types of small businesses and identification and estimate of the number of small businesses subject to the rule proposed that would bear the cost of or directly benefit from the rule being proposed? Answer. The Commission does not foresee small businesses bearing significant costs to comply with the rule amendments. Most of the Commission's licensees within the public automobile auction segment of the industry are small businesses, and these rule amendments will apply equally. Further, the amendments allow for younger Tennesseans to enter the industry earlier and streamlines the license holder requirements for public automobile auctions. As the rule amendments impose no new licensing requirements, a cost of compliance, if any, will be minimal. The projected reporting, record keeping, or other administrative costs required for compliance with the rule being proposed, including the type of professional skills necessary for preparation of the report or record. Answer. The Commission does not foresee a cost for administration and enforcement of these rule amendments. A statement of the probable effect of impacted small businesses and consumers. Answer. The Commission does not foresee a significant impact on small businesses with these rule amendments. Although most licensees are small businesses, these rule amendments apply to all licensees within the public automobile auction segment of the industry equally. It is anticipated the rule amendments will make licensure for younger Tennesseans easier and streamline the licensure process for the duly regulated public automobile auctions. A description of any less burdensome, less intrusive, or less costly alternative methods of achieving the purpose and objectives of the rule being proposed that may exist, and to what extent the alternative means might be less burdensome to small businesses. Answer. The Commission knows of no less restrictive or burdensome means than through the promulgation of these rules as amended. A comparison of the rules proposed with any federal or state counterparts. Answer. Rules and regulations for auctioneers vary across the country. However, the rule amendments may be like current or proposed rules and regulations in other state-level regulating jurisdictions. The Commission is unaware of any similar or existing proposed federal rules. Analysis of the effect of a possible exemption of small businesses from all or any part of the requirements contained in the rule being proposed. Answer. The Commission does not foresee the need for a possible small business exemption of the requirements in the proposed rules. The rule amendments apply equally to all licensed auctioneers in the public automobile auction segment of the industry, regardless of the size of their business. Therefore, the Commission does not see a disparate impact to small businesses. Additionally, the rule amendments may allow small businesses to expand their businesses as a previous barrier of entry is lowered and another requirement is clarified. Therefore, an exemption for small businesses would not be beneficial. I will now need a motion to adopt the regulatory flexibility addendum.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
The motion's been made and seconded. Take a vote by roll call vote. Dwayne Rogers. Jay White.
Aye.
Edward Knight.
Aye.
And Dwayne Rogers, can you say it one more time? I think my microphone was off.
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Motion carries.
I will now read the impact on local government statement pursuant to TCA Section 4-5-228. The Tennessee Auctioneer Commission foresees no impact on local governments. I will now need a motion to adopt the impact on local government statement.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we'll vote by roll call. Ed Knight.
Aye.
Jay White.
Aye.
Dwayne Rogers.
Aye.
Motion carries.
I will now read the answers to the questions required by the Joint Government Operations Committee. All agencies upon filing a rule must also submit the following pursuant to TCA Section 4-5-226I1. A brief summary of the rule and description of all relevant changes and previous regulations effectuated by such rule. Answer. The proposed rules amend certain requirements for public automobile auctioneers and public automobile auctions, specifically as required by a statutory change, lowering the age requirements for the public automobile auctioneer license application from 21 to 18 years of age. Additionally, the rules clarify the public automobile auction is to hold the Motor Vehicle Commission's motor vehicle dealer license. The amendment will provide clarification to public automobile auctioneers and public automobile auctions following statutory amendments. B, a citation to and brief description of any federal law or regulation or any state law or regulation mandating promulgation of such rule or establishing guidelines relevant thereto. Answer. On October 1st, 2021, Public Chapter 783 went into effect, amending the age requirement for public automobile auctioneers from 21 to 18 years of age. Additionally, Public Chapter 585 went into effect on March 15th, 2024, clarifying the public automobile auction is to hold a motor vehicle dealer license. No other federal or state laws or regulations are known mandating promulgation of these amendments or established guidelines. C, identification of persons, organizations, corporations, or governmental entities most directly affected by this rule, and whether those persons, organizations, corporations, or governmental entities urge adoption or rejection of this rule. Answer. These rule amendments impact current and future auctioneer licensees, as well as a segment of motor vehicle licensees. Specifically, these amendments directly affect public automobile auctioneers and public automobile auctions. The Commission expects younger Tennesseans pursuing entrance into the public automobile industry, as well as current public automobile auctioneer licensees, to be proponents of these rules amendments. The Commission does not foresee a particular segment of opponents to these amendments. D, identification of any opinions of the Attorney General and reporter or any judicial ruling that directly relates to the rule or the necessity to promulgate the rule. Answer. These rule amendments. Hold on one second. These rule amendments are aligned with the 2009 Attorney General opinion on the subject matter of public automobile auctioneers. However, there are no additional known opinions of the Attorney General and reporter or any judicial rulings that directly relate to these rule amendments. E, an estimate of the probable increase or decrease in state and local government revenues and expenditures, if any, resulting from the promulgation of this rule and assumptions and reasoning upon which the estimate is based. An agency shall not state that the fiscal impact is minimal if the fiscal impact is more than 2% of the agency's annual budget or $500,000, whichever is less. Answer. There is no foreseeable probable increase or decrease in state and local government revenues and expenditures resulting in the promulgation of this rule. F, identification of appropriate agency representative or representatives possessing substantial knowledge and understanding of the rule. Answer. Anna Matlock, Roxana Gamusio. G, identification of appropriate agency representative or representatives who will explain the rule at the scheduled meeting of the committees. Answer. Anna Matlock, Roxana Gamusio. H, office, address, telephone number, and email address of the agency representative or representatives who will explain the rule at the scheduled meeting of the committees. Answer. I've provided the contact information for Anna Matlock and Roxana Gamusio. I, any additional information relevant to the proposed rule for continuation that the committee requests. Answer. There is no known additional relevant information. I will now need a motion to adopt the additional information for the Joint Government Operations Committee.
Make a motion to adopt.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Those in favor will vote by roll call. Ed Knight,
Aye.
Jay White,
Aye.
Wayne Rogers.
Aye.
Motion carries.
That concludes this rulemaking hearing. Following this hearing, the rules will be put on the rulemaking filing form SS 7039, submitted to the Governor's Office for final review, and then submitted to the Attorney General's Office for review and approval. Once the Attorney General's signature is obtained, these are filed with the Secretary of State and generally become effective 90 days from the date of filing after receiving a positive recommendation from the Joint Government Operations Committee. Thank you for being here today. This concludes the rulemaking hearing.
Thank you, Anna.
Okay, you have to hear me talk to you a little bit more. So this is the last thing that we have to do today is I've presented another red line to you for rules. The package may look familiar because we talked about it last time. It is the retrospective rule review package. If you recall, we discussed this with you a couple of months ago, earlier this year, of rules that were required. We were required to do a review of the rules per statute with the General Assembly. The Assistant Commissioner for you reviewed those changes with you. And these are the proposed changes that I brought to you a couple of months ago. However, you'll see that we had originally made changes to rules related to military applicants. However, we are no longer making changes to those rules. All military applicant rules for the department are currently under review. So I have removed those changes from this rulemaking package. Everything else is the same about the changes that were presented previously. Does anyone have any questions related to the rulemaking package? Any questions about anything I said? Okay, if not, I will just need a motion to adopt the rules as presented to you today.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right, we'll vote by roll call. Those in favor, Ed Knight,
Aye.
Jay White,
Aye.
Dwayne Rogers.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Thank you. So I will go forward with moving forward in the rulemaking process related to this. And yep, that is all from me today.
All right, members, on your next on the agenda is new business. So we'd like to take this time to see if there's anybody in the audience or online on the Teams meeting who'd like to address the board. Anybody?
I probably would.
Okay.
I may.
Sure.
Good morning. My name is Philip Traylor. I'm here, excuse me, on behalf of the Tennessee Auctioneer Association. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, on this part of the agenda or on the new business is our request for funding for our upcoming convention. I believe that's there in front of you.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to see if there was any questions or anything. We've got a super good board this year that's worked pretty tirelessly to put us together a really nice convention this time in November. It's going to be held right over at Gaylord. We've included a welcome reception on Saturday night. Then we'll be firing up middle of the morning on Sunday. We've got some super good speakers. We've got the president of the NAA coming this year. He's going to be speaking about marketing and about a lot of your AI technologies. We've got a local, really involved realtor that's going to be talking about the National Association of Realtors lawsuit, how that involves us that are in the auction business and how that those details or things like that. So got some really good workshops we're working on. So we're going to just have a really good convention and conference and show there. So if anybody got any questions or anything in regards to that funding packet that we have requested? I think Callie's done a really good job. She's our executive director in putting together that form, and I think it's very, everything should be there in front of you, but I just wanted to be here and represent the Tennessee Auctioneer Association in case you have any questions.
And included in that is a request to approve a course too.
From my understanding, yes.
Yes, sir. Let's see, the course is titled the TAA 2024 Winter CE, and that's part of the request also for funding for the annual conference. And just for historical purposes, we've sponsored this before in the past.
That is correct, and we're very much appreciative. And while I've got the red light on this microphone, I want to put it on record of to congratulate one of our own, Shane McCarroll. He won the International Auctioneer Competition about 3 weeks ago in Pittsburgh. So I just wanted to put that on the record. So we're proud of him.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So we would need a motion to approve the funding request for the annual conference as well as the CE course approval.
I'll make that motion.
A second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, I believe that brings us to the end of the agenda. If there's no questions or further discussion, we would need a motion to adjourn.
I would like to thank the commission going to the National Auction Association, send us there. I'm not sure Larry, I didn't see him, but I thank you guys for sending me there. I had a great educational experience, good time. Thank the commission for that. And then Philip pointed to Shane McCarroll, one of our own Tennessee professional auctioneers, won the IAC championship. So congratulations to him from the board. Cool. If you put that in the minutes or
Yes, sir.
what the official
Yes, we definitely
term
will.
is, but that's all I have.
All right. Thank you, sir.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Second. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We're adjourned. It is 9:36. You get me to sign.